What's wrong with it? Alright, we're back at it again today. You guys have not seen, we've got a big cluster going on. This is a 7.3 shop truck. You guys may have been following along. We built this thing a couple months ago. There's a whole playlist. I'll link it down below in the description. You guys can see we've got some cabs going on. So last time we pulled this truck in for paint and body work, and we got to taking the cab apart and it wasn't looking too good. You guys know this truck come from Canada, and yeah, come from way up north in Canada. The underneath of it frame was spotless, but once we pulled the interior out of the cab, the inner rockers are all rusted out. You guys see that? I think it's from people's wet feet and snow running down in there over the years, sitting there rusting. It's the only thing we can figure, because it's kind of backwards what stuff normally rusts. And we got some rust issues up here in this seam. You guys remember this truck was originally a single cab, two-wheel drive truck, and they cut the cab in two and made it a crew cab after the factory built it. So Ford never made a F Superduty single cab, or crew cab, sorry. Got Hunter, Tucker helping today. We've got the cab stripped out, so what we're doing is a couple differences in the cabs. Hunter's stripping the doors out. We're going to use the doors on that cab because the doors on that cab were dented. So that's a 1987 cab, and this is a 95. So there's a couple differences in the firewall. The holes here for the clutch and master are pretty much the same. Master cylinder for the brakes. Steering hole's a little bit different, but we do have a mount over here for the dash and the brake pedal, and this right here is different. So we've got to take that stuff and put it over here. This truck also had cab lights on it. So what Tucker done over here, he actually put a piece of paper on there and transferred all the holes on a piece of paper. He's got it sitting over here. You guys can see the cab mount holes there. So he's going to get ready to mark those, drill those out. And you guys can see how this firewall is shaped a little bit different here. It's got a teardrop shape for the steering column. So we got to change that out a little bit, and I think we're going to have to mock this cab up on the frame too, because we may have a clearance issue with the transfer case on this. So it may be close. We'll have to see. So anyway, we've got a big old project on our hands, don't we?
Yeah, a lot of things to modify.
A lot of things. You might as well get your drill and start drilling out those little holes there first, huh?
Right.
But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing on this firewall, whether I'm cutting the whole thing out or just doing pieces. I've cut the spot welds out in this inner panel. I'm going to try to pop it off there first. Got a spot weld cutter. I'm trying to get that popped off there. Then I'm going to take that piece over there, and it's going to kind of line things up for us. So I've got to get this piece over there and this piece transferred over, and somehow I've got to get this bulge transferred over. The other cab just comes straight down here. So a lot of little things to do. Then hopefully we get all that done. We're going to take it outside, sandblast the doors and that cab, and we got the hood and stuff. And yeah, it's a heck of a project, isn't it? Alright, got everything cut out of there that I think I need. I got that cut out, got the inner structure cut out. I also cut out this piece in here that goes to that big aluminum steering column brace. So, Hunter's got all the doors stripped off. Took the cowl off of it. We got to have this cowl. Remember, this was a 92 to 97 cab, and that was a 87 to 91. So we got to change the cowl on it because the hood and stuff is different. We'll probably leave that off separate and paint it separate, Hunter, so it won't go back on there after paint. Got glass guys coming today, take the windows out of the front and rear. Well, yeah, here's that piece. Guys, you can see the hole's different. I've got to get it in there And here's this big aluminum brace that goes up under there. And so this piece has to go back in there somehow. And we got this piece that's got to go up here. And we got this piece that's got to go in here. We got a big old mess of parts. And I've got this piece that I took out too. It's got to go in there. So I got to get all that tidied up to update that up to the 90s anyway. I think the rest of it should be the same. We'll have to test fit it on the chassis one more time. I'll have to notch this firewall too for that downpipe on that power stroke to give us a little extra room there. But yeah, she's coming together. I'm going to start cutting holes and get all that stuff welded up, and we'll bring you guys back. All right, got the cab all cleaned out. Glass guys come, got the glass out of the front and rear. We got most of the brackets welded in. I got that one. The steering wheel stiffener brake thing, we got that extra stiffener in the firewall. Only thing we lack is this front one. Kevin's actually out there sandblasting, so we're gonna catch him before the day's over and get this thing blasted. We'll take a peek out there in a second. Looking a little bit different. Tucker got that front firewall piece welded in there. We got those cab light holes in there yesterday. We got some holes patched up on the roof. We actually deleted the third tail light hole. The bed actually blocks it, so got it deleted, didn't we? Got your radio antenna holes welded up. Got some holes welded up here where they had a fire extinguisher mount drilled through. So we're going to test fit this dude on the chassis, make sure we don't have any interference there, and everything looks good. We'll head over to the body shop with it. How you like welding sheet metal?
It makes me realize how much better it is doing it on thicker metal. I hate sheet metal, and I hate this quality.
It takes a long time. You got to be patient with it. You can't warp it. So, all right, we're going to get after it. Alright, test fitting the cab on there. This is actually the second time we had it on there. We cut the hole out for the shifter.
Wait, hold on.
You guys can see there? Do what?
You want the whole thing marked out here?
Yeah, just mark around the brake drum. So, you guys remember previously that cab's got a big old hole beat up in the floor. In this area here, the reason done it, this transmission transfer case has a park brake housing on the back. These Super Duty trucks didn't have a park brake on the back. They put it on the end of the transmission. So, being this has been converted to 4-wheel drive, it's sitting right in here. Now, we are touching our old body mounts, barely. But that brake drum's hitting too. I've got new body mounts coming. I think we need to get about another 1/2 inch of clearance just to be on the safe side there. So we actually already cut the cross member. I'll show you guys that. But we're probably going to have to get in there and do a little massaging to it, kind of like this floorboard is. Not quite as severe, but Quigley, the company that converted this truck in 4-wheel drive, actually beat that up here. You guys can kind of see that. It's all hammer marked up. But we're not going to get quite that aggressive for sure. Another reason, this truck originally had an automatic in it, which made it longer, made it sit back farther. So we're shorter than that, so we're up in that higher spot. So what do you think about that? Hammer job. We're going to have to do something like that, but not quite. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. I'd hate to do that to a brand new truck. But yeah, we'll get that back. Let's set that back up off her, Tucker, and massage it up again and see what she looks like. Alright, you guys can see that park brake housing that I speak of there. It's sticking above the frame there a little bit.
I marked about here.
Around it.
I didn't go around that. I just marked it like.
So normally this transfer case would just have a tail shaft right down here and that's it. This is actually an adapter to adapt this parking brake housing. It used to be on the back of the transmission. So what do you think? We'll show you what we've done here already. We actually cut this here and kind of clearanced it up. So it's sitting right here in the floorboard. It looks like it's sitting right here now on that mark.
Yes, I marked back a bit. Awesome.
Alright, we'll have to get a hammer and massage that up. It probably wasn't hitting here, was it?
Mm-mm.
Alright, we'll get that tweaked up and we'll test fit it again. Alright, I'm going to show these people what we did.
Atrocious.
We made a flat piece of metal curve. You guys can see we beat this up here kind of like they did, not as severe, and we got that bumped up. So we got about a 1/2 inch clearance under it with the old mount, so when we get the new ones in there it should be fine. So you've just got to weld it up.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
You guys having fun? Well, they're digging out all the old seam sealer from all these cracks and stuff. Randy's helping them. They're going to put new 3M seam sealer in there. Tucker's in the cowl in here.
What?
I said Tucker's in here in the cowl getting all that junk out, aren't you?
I listened to the most of that.
So we're going to get it all sealed back up before we primer it. We got a little bit of body work to do on that. Got some action going on over here. Alright, cobblers be cobbling. Got the cab all in here. The boys are seam sealing up seams. Kevin's fixing dents.
But it's got to be a mud buggy, not a Ford.
Mud buggy. It ain't a mud buggy. Got the third brake light eliminated. We don't need that, do we, Tucker?
It's not coming off my fingers.
Tucker, yeah, I've got stuff on my fingers. The boys are getting all the seams sealed up. We got underneath there done already.
Kinda.
Oh, I see another spot needs some Duraglass, Kevin.
Okay.
This is the only piece left. I got the other pieces in here. Getting ready for primer. I'll show you those. Got the other pieces all body worked. Waiting for primer in here. Got that hood. That's actually off like a 95. Another truck I had out there. Parts truck. The factory, that charcoal color that was on this truck was a freaking mess. We got all of it off. And we got these doors all smoothed up. We didn't want to paint back over that charcoal stuff. It was, I think it was enamel paint, but there's some of the old blue colors you guys can see in there. But we'll have to primer these up, and I'll use some DTM primer, high build primer. And then we'll have to take these back off, block those all back off, and start from there. These are actually fenders off the truck that I used the transmission out of. They were good clean fenders. A little bit of a dent there. Nice hood. But yeah, it's coming along. Hopefully we'll get that cab done, and I'll throw a bunch of primer and stuff, and then next day or two we'll start blocking this stuff out. Alright, hopefully everybody's having a good Christmas. Kevin's got some of his stuff up here. It's actually the week of Thanksgiving. I'll give you guys a little timeline here in a second, but boys finished up the seam sealer in the cab. I got it primered yesterday. Me and Hunter come over early. Got it all primered up, a couple coats on here. We're using a VP 2050. It's a high build primer. It's kind of a hybrid epoxy primer. So it's a direct to metal finish. You can spray it direct to metal. It's actually a high build, so you can block it out and sand it. So actually come in here, mark some little circles and stuff, some imperfections while we can still see. It's kind of nice because it is a glossy primer when it dries, and let you see those dents and stuff real quick too. And of course when we start sanding it, that stuff will pop up, but it kind of gives me a heads up where I can start filling on little spot putty here and there. But we got like 3 and 4 coats on the doors where we got to do some more blocking. The cab's got 2 coats on it. Kind of got like 3 coats on the outside areas where it's kind of show. There's not much outside on it. Got here, the center pillar, B pillar, a little bit on the roof, just these cab corners. So back doesn't really show. We got a little mark here, a couple little places. So we'll step out here to the prep area. So you guys can kind of see, got a couple little dents here, but if you get sideways with the light, it's probably hard to see on camera. You can see some of the stuff. If a guy just stands straight back here, you won't see that stuff, but you got to get at different angles. Got one little dent in the hood. Again, you can't really see that unless you get You guys see that light shining right there. If you can get right where that light's shining, you can see that dent a lot better. So you gotta move your head around back and forth. Look all over. We got a little dent there, a little pucker right there. So we'll fill this up first, and what I'll do is probably hit this with 220 real quick. It's kind of got an orange peel to it because it's a high build primer. And then we'll block it out with 400 and probably paint it from that. So these fenders are actually turned out real great. They're pretty straight and everything to begin with, so didn't have to do much to those. So to give you guys a little timeline, we actually started this video on a Monday. This is actually Thanksgiving week here. I started this video on a Monday, and Tucker and I was getting that cab ready, welding some brackets and stuff over. And then I believe the boys started seam sealing on it, or Kevin we blasted it there. I think that was on Monday afternoon. He blasted it. Kevin's busy working on a dozer on Monday morning. Monday afternoon, blasted the cab. We used what they call a star blast, and we were worried about the old charcoal paint off here. Stuff was nasty and thick. So he blasted the cab shell. It come off really good because it was just a single layer of paint basically. But we've actually got a different hood because that other one was nasty. That enamel paint or whatever's on there for whatever reason didn't want to come off very well. So I actually ended up blasting a few doors in the blast cabinet over here. Randy ended up sanding a couple parts too, the big flat areas. You got to be careful with the sandblaster. You'll warp this thin metal. You guys can see I'm kind of pushing on it. So on those door skins, we're kind of staying off in the big flat areas with the blasters. So we just kind of sand that down to bare metal, or at least the original blue paint, which we know is pretty good. But we got all that sealed up and sanded down. So now we're getting ready for the final step. So that was on Monday. Tuesday, trying to think what we did here. Tuesday, Tucker and I was doing a little bit more welding underneath that cab, getting that all clearanced out for that parking brake and all that stuff. The boys are working on another dozer on Tuesday morning. So it was just me and him basically on that. And then Kevin and I started bodywork, I believe, on Tuesday afternoon. On some of the doors and the fenders, I was still doing a little bit of blasting too on the doors in the cabinet. And then Wednesday, Kevin and I were doing body work. Boys are seam sealing. Tucker and Hunter's here. They're off school this week. Friend Mason was helping. Randy was helping in and out. So got that seam sealed. I think they used about 3 tubes of seam sealer on that. So a lot of seams to seal up, making it all new again. But Kevin and I worked hard all day Wednesday. Got all the body work done except for the cab. And we had to let that seam sealer dry. So Hunter and I come in here on Thanksgiving morning about 6 o'clock in the morning. Got the cab finished, got it all primered, which that was yesterday. Got all primered underneath, got it set in there. Got that all done. So it's actually Friday morning now. So people don't realize how much time and energy this stuff takes. And keep in mind, we've been thrashing and we're pretty efficient at what we do. So, you know, people say, man, the body shops charge a lot of money. Well, this is the reason why. This is day 5. And we're going to be hand sanding and blocking all day. Let's walk around here. See another little dent right here in the lights. We're going to be blocking and hand sanding all day here. I like to do it by hand. You get a machine that can give you some swirls and stuff. We're not going for a show truck look here, but we're going to make it look presentable for sure. While we're here doing it, we might as well do it right. So we'll probably spend all day blocking. I doubt we get any color on it today. Just depends how the body work is. We'll soon find out. So I think the kids are going to come over here later on too and help out. So we'll get her all blocked out and sanded. Doubtful we'll get color put on it today. So probably be tomorrow, because we'll probably spray some spot places with some primer, cover up bare metal, whatnot. Probably do that today. And then hopefully tomorrow is Saturday, I get to spray some color and clear on it. And as long as that all lays down fine, we'll be good. But have any hiccups, we might have to do a little bit of buffing or something like that on Sunday. I'm walking around here, I see another dent on this fender, which is all good. I'll get this stuff marked out here. Got a little dent there. But yeah, so that would be putting 7 days in this, just painting it after the cabin stuff was off. I had a dent over here I lost. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it takes a lot of time. People don't realize. A lot of time and money if you want to do it right. You guys got to be careful. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail what I'm doing. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube doing this stuff. We're not professionals at doing car stuff, so there's several different products and ways to do it out there. And there's a lot of people doing stuff that's kind of shady and not right too, I hate to say. So I see a lot of stuff out there that's kind of done halfway right, but anyway, it is what it is. So you guys gotta be careful what you're watching and seeing. So, but I want to get after here. I'm gonna fill in a few low spots, and then we'll start block sanding here. All right, got the old hood sanded down with some 220 and 400. Went over the Scotch-Brite. It's looking good. I don't know if you guys can actually see some of the old Calypso green is actually coming through there, some spots. That's actually spot welds from underneath the hood. Keep in mind these things aren't quite this straight from the factory. Where they put this center hump in, there's actually a couple creases in the hood. But when we put that high build primer on there, it actually smooths all that up. We can go across it. So I'm going to show you what we're doing here. This fender already went over with 220. You guys can see I got most of the orange peel out of it. Looking for those high and low spots. Got this all sanded out nice and flush. I'll show you. Over here I did run over it with the DA real quick just to knock down some high spots. I don't like to do it with the machine and get swirl marks in it. You can dig holes. Find it's easier just to use the old sanding block. So one thing you don't want to do is sand in a straight line. You always want to be going at an angle. You want to try to go down the whole panel at a time. Kind of hard to do with one hand. I can't hold the cart, but so we're going to keep sanding that till we get all of our high spots. You guys can kind of see it's flattening out there. Those smoother spots, that's actually high spots. So we're trying to sand those down until we get a nice, smooth, uniform finish there. This will show all your highs and lows. You got that glossy paint there. Where you sanded, it's dull. But you don't want to sit there and go like that. You'll dig a hole in it. Always want to try to go at an angle. Try to, like this, I'll cross hatch it both ways. That will hopefully take out your little ripples and nubs. A couple more passes over that and that'd be good. You can kind of see there's a little hole. You guys can see that. See where it's kind of shiny? That's actually a low spot. That should sand out in the primer. We keep blocking it out. So you can see that's a high spot. But yeah, it's coming together. This takes a lot of sanding. And eventually it will look like that with the 220. See there's no holes or anything showing there. So I do have just a little bit of orange peel left. You guys can see that right there, just a little bit. And so what I'll do, I'll come back over to that 400 and sand the rest of that orange peel out. And that way I know I'm down good and I got all my 220 scratches out. There's also some, I think I got what they call a guide coat you can use over it, but everybody does stuff different. I know once I get those little orange peels and marks out of there, I should be good. Again, this is not a show truck, it's just a freaking shop truck, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna keep it on. I think Tucker and Hunter's coming over. I'm gonna show them how to do a little bit of blocking there. I'm gonna keep working on these fenders. Got the cowl, then this stuff should be done. And we got the doors and the cabinet left, so we still got a lot to do. All right, you guys seen the madness. That is only a little glimpse of what we've been doing. You like sanding?
It's alright.
It's all right. It's just freaking time consuming. Hunter's got most of the cab knocked out. Fortunately, we're gonna have to prime the doors one more time. I got the other ones in the paint booth. These are getting real close. I've got a little bit of low spot there. I've got some metal showing through. A couple more coats of primer on there. That'll be good. A couple more coats on this one. The other doors are in there, they're about the same. Hunter's got a few little spots we're gonna hit here on the cab, but all in all, it's looking good. We're not gonna worry about making that smooth back here. It doesn't show, so. How you feel about it?
Never paint your truck.
Never paint your truck?
Never paint your truck.
It takes a lot of work to do it right. Oh my. So, oh, there's a little. We're gonna go over this thing with the fine tooth comb. I can't even talk. And we're gonna roll it in and do a little primering. Then we'll be back in the morning. It's the end of the day here almost. So we'll have to block out those doors again. Probably have to touch up a few of these little spots here and go from there. But hopefully, I'd say by lunchtime, a little after, I'll be putting some color on this dude. So it's gonna happen one way or another. So I thought you guys are always asking how much stuff costs like this. Since it's our own project, I may go through and figure up how much material and labor we got in this paint job. It's including taking the cab off and all that stuff. So I can pretty much guesstimate the time it's going to take to put it back together. It's going to be a lot. People don't realize how much this stuff costs. So, all right, we're going to get everything blowed off, get some primer on it, and we'll see you guys in the morning. All right, got everything blocked out, sanded finally. You guys notice we got some new nut certs in the doors for those tow mirrors that go on there. I took the old ones out. The reason is it's a whole lot easier to do body work without those things in there. It's almost impossible to get a nice flat surface. So I took the old ones out. Me and Hunter just put some new ones in there. Got some new ones in this door too. So we got these blocked out. We got these other parts blocked out. Keep in mind, we're not doing a freaking show truck. I could spend probably another day, if not 2 days, making this thing absolutely perfect. But top of the cab's got some rough spots in it yet. Nobody's gonna see it 'cause it's gonna be way up there. Fenders and stuff's all pretty good. Got the hood here. It's all hung up. Usually try to hang them up this way so we don't get too much dirt in it. We're gonna hang the other doors up, and then we'll put wax and grease remover on everything and blow it off one more time. And hopefully we can start putting on the magical color of blue. Hunter loves the sand, don't you?
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
What's all over your face?
What is all over my face?
Probably grease or dirt. We don't need that in here. What's all over your arm? We're gonna clean that off.
What?
We're gonna hang up some parts here and get to shooting some blue paint shortly. Blue, bud. color we're using. So it's a PPG acrylic urethane base coat, 1-to-1 ratio. We'll get it on there, then we'll spray the clear. Looking good. We love blue, don't we?
Oh yeah, blue on everything.
coats on the blue. I'm probably not really going to coat the inside anymore. Probably have to do 3 coats on the outside. Alright, we got 3 coats of blue on the outside. I only got like 1 coat on the inside. I got a little extra in the floorboards and the rockers. We're going to put clear over this stuff. That's why it's kind of flat looking at the moment. We're not looking for a shine on this coat. I think it's looking pretty good. This blue has metallic in it, so it's real hard to cover up. It doesn't go very far. I actually sprayed a whole gallon of paint that goes 1-to-1, so it actually makes 2 gallons of paint. So yeah, the main thing with metallic, you gotta be careful not to get stripes in it. Hopefully I don't have any. I always try to paint 2 different ways. So I may paint this way one time, next time I'll come and paint this way. Try to eliminate some of that. It's hard to tell until you get the clear on it and get it out in the sun, but I painted this color before, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it turns out okay. So we're gonna let it sit here and dry a little bit longer and throw the clear on it. What do you think?
Looks good to me.
Looks good. It'll look better when the clear is on. So hopefully we can get the clear to lay down smooth enough where we don't have to buff it. That's my key. I don't want to go put that extra step in there at this point. So, but we'll get it mixed up, lay it down. I'd rather get it on a little heavy. If I got a run or 2 I got to fix, I'd rather do that than deal with orange peel. So we'll get after it here. We gotta find her clear though, don't we?
Yeah, do you have
Look
clear?
at all this Christmas stuff in here.
That's Kevin's problem.
Alright, that's what we're using for a clear 5-star. I had that left over from another project. Should have plenty to do it there. Just mixes 2-to-1. We're gonna get that mixed up here and have at her. good. All right, I'm gonna sneak in here very gently. I don't get a bunch of dust in it. But you guys can see she is looking a whole lot different. Nice and shiny. Got a little bit of orange peel, but that's more of a factory orange peel. It'll be just fine for what we're doing. You guys see that hood there? Yeah, had to be a beautiful color. Like I say, I painted my Bronco that color. But all in all, I think it laid out very well. Bodywork's looking good. Hopefully we don't get any runs in anything. If we do, we can probably touch those up on Monday. But a little bit of dirt in there. But again, for this truck, it's going to be just fine. So didn't put any clear in there. Didn't have enough anyway, but it'll be just fine. What do you think? It's pretty slick, ain't it? We don't want to stir up too much dust. So. Roof is a little bit rough, but we knew that. Nobody's going to see it because it sits up that tall, right?
It is a little rough.
So I put together some quick numbers. I told you guys I'd give a little number tier here. So what I've got here, this is just a quick. We've got a bunch of labor in this thing. So altogether we've got 188 hours of labor. It's a bunch. That's counting taking the cabs off, and that's putting 40 hours for putting this thing back together, putting the cabs on. Remember, we got all the glass out of it, all that good stuff. So I charge $125 an hour. That comes up to $23,500, which is a lot. The paint and supplies are $2,200. A gallon of that blue paint is $500 now. It's crazy. That clear, I actually had that clear left over. I only threw about $150 in there, which it should have probably thrown more in it. But primer's $350 for a batch. It all adds up. So did throw some parts in there for the cab. I got some new weather stripping seals, some other miscellaneous stuff. It just all adds up. So all in all, grand finale, we're looking about 27K. That's a bunch. If somebody, not that we do this, somebody dropped his truck off and wanted this done. So it just adds up. So you people, you know, hey, I took my truck to the body shop. I get these people all the time. They want to charge me $12,000, $15,000 to paint my truck. Well, that's not too far out of the realm if you want a good job, you know, for not taking the cab and stuff off. We went way farther than that on this build. So if you didn't take the cab off, you would be in that $15,000 mark. But there again, it's just a lot of labor, so it takes a lot of time. People don't realize. You know, we've been working on this 7 days almost now. So actually, 7 days. Yeah. We started last Saturday. And I figured me and Kevin may have 3 more days in it. Hunter may help next weekend maybe. I've got some auction stuff to go to this week. So, but I'd say we'll have 3 good solid days getting together and making it right. It takes a while. I got to get all the doors fitting good. Window glasses got to go in it. So, but that's going to be another video, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So hopefully you guys liked what you've seen. It's kind of a quick thing. Like I said, this video is not that long, but you guys can see there it's been stretched out over a week. So we're going to wrap this thing up here. Wish everybody a happy Christmas and a New Year. Happy New Year. Guys, if you liked what you've seen today, give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to keep on watching these things, we'll probably have one more video throwing this truck together, Kevin and I. You might consider subscribing so you don't miss out. So we'll catch you guys next time. I hope Mom doesn't watch and see how much we just spent on the blue shop truck.
That would not be good.
She doesn't watch our videos, right?
I hope not.
Nah, not at all.